By the time Emma's presentation collapsed, so did she. The room had been full, clients, execs, the new CEO, but her mind was fuller. Charts, deadlines, her sister's birthday she forgot last week, the groceries still rotting in her fridge. Her voice wavered halfway through the slide deck. Her vision went blurry, and then, like a light switch flipped off, she fainted. Emma woke up not in her glass corner office, but in a hospital bed with an IV drip and a cardiologist asking, "Have you been under stress lately?" She laughed, the kind of laugh that says, "Isn't that the whole point?" 2 weeks later, her boss forced her to take a sabbatical. That's how she ended up in a remote Zen retreat in Northern California with no Wi-Fi, no coffee, and people who spoke in haikus before breakfast. She hated it. The first few days were torture. Her phone had no service. Her laptop stayed in her suitcase. The retreat's head teacher, an elderly Japanese man named Hiroshi, gave her a room that faced a garden and told her to sit in silence for 2 hours a day. "But what do I do?" she had asked on the first day. "You watch," he said with a faint smile, "and you let your teacup empty." She didn't get it. She didn't want to get it. On the 5th morning, it rained. Emma sat alone in the dining hall, staring at her cup of green tea. Hiroshi entered, humming an old tune, and sat across from her with his own cup. He picked up the teapot and began pouring tea into her already full cup. "Wait, it's going to overflow," she blurted. He kept pouring. Tea spilled over the rim, soaking the wooden table. She looked at him, startled. He set the pot down and said, "Exactly." Emma blinked. "You come here full," he said. "Full of thoughts, plans, meetings, ambition, fear. So full, there is no room for peace." He gently cleaned the table with a cloth and added, "To taste new tea, you must first empty the cup." She stared at the puddle of tea, at her reflection in it, tired, stretched thin, somewhere between who she used to be and who she wanted to be. Something cracked. She didn't cry, but she felt a stillness, like the first deep breath after a storm. Days turned into weeks. Emma began waking up before sunrise. She swept leaves from the stone path, listened to the frogs at night, and slowly began doing nothing without feeling guilt. She stopped needing to check her phone. She stopped needing to need. One morning, sitting in the garden, she watched a droplet of water glide off a lotus leaf and vanish into the pond. That evening, she approached Hiroshi and bowed. "I think I finally emptied my cup." He chuckled. "Good. Now you can begin to fill it. With care." When Emma returned to the city, she didn't quit her job, but she stopped eating lunch at her desk. She started saying no. She took long walks without earbuds and began painting again. And every morning, she poured her tea slowly, watching it rise, but never overflow.